Mesothelioma is a particularly aggressive, oftentimes fatal cancer, and it can affect the two linings of the lung outside of the lung, the visceral and the parietal pleura. The other one that is most often seen is peritoneal mesothelioma, which is a cancer that develops in the peritoneum or the stomach. Much like your lungs have protective linings, your stomach does as well. And the peritoneum kind of keeps the stomach together. And what the medicine and the literature tell us is that when you breathe in asbestos fibers, or you even swallow asbestos fibers unknowingly, these fibers do not want to stay in your lung, and they do not want to stay in your stomach. And what can happen, unfortunately, is these fibers are very difficult to get rid of, and they can get stuck. So a fiber that used to be in the lung will be coated, and it will move to the exterior linings, the visceral and the parietal pleuras. And that's sometimes where they stay. And if they stay there, unfortunately, what can happen is mesothelioma develops. There's pericardial mesothelioma. The pericardium, as you might guess just by the word, surrounds the heart. And fibers can unfortunately migrate outward to the pericardium. And the other one is testicular mesothelioma. The vast majority of mesotheliomas that we see are either pleural mesothelioma or peritoneal mesothelioma. The first symptomology or the first symptoms can often mimic those of lung cancer. You will have chest pain, and even more often than chest pain is back pain. Other things that may be an indicator of mesothelioma are shortness of breath or breathlessness. And if you are having what is known as a pleural effusion in the context of mesothelioma, we'll see them unilaterally, okay? And that means that your left lung, if there's a mesothelioma in the left pleural space, that pleural space is going to start to bleed. So what happens there is that this fluid puts pressure, doesn't have anywhere to go, it puts pressure on the lung. And the lung will contract, and you will have a pleural effusion. And you're gonna have a lot of pain if you have an effusion, and you're gonna have a hard time breathing. Those are kind of your hallmark traits of a concern for malignant mesothelioma. As far as non-symptomology, if you were an insulator, if you were a pipe fitter, a sheet metal worker, a carpenter, and you have a known history of asbestos exposure in the workplace, you may know from x-rays of your chest, maybe you're going in for knee surgery or something, and the doctors want to look at whether or not you can survive a big-time surgery. They will see things called pleural plaques. Many of the people who we end up representing have for years been monitored by their physicians because they know that they have pleural plaques. If you're having chest pain, back pain, shortness of breath, weight loss is another thing that can really be an indicator of mesothelioma, because you're just not feeling like you normally do, and you just don't want to eat like you normally do. If you have any of those things, those are independently, I think, certainly warning signs of potential mesothelioma. And if you add those to the presence of bilateral pleural plaques, or even just an acknowledged history of exposure to asbestos in the workplace, you should be seeing a physician, no doubt.